This is Laura with Mom Envy, and today I'm going to show you how to use Spotify to create a really unique and custom DIY gift for somebody. This is perfect for anniversaries, Valentine's Day, birthdays, or just because. So what you can do is you can create a keychain, or you could also do a bookmark or something else where when you scan a code, it takes you to a Spotify playlist, or it could even go to just a song. But in this case, we're going to do it to a playlist. So the first thing you're going to need to do is to log into Spotify. It does not matter if you have a free or a paid account. So on the left-hand side, when I'm on the actual website versus the app, I can create a playlist. Now, if you're using your phone to do this, what you're going to want to do is at the very bottom of your phone, there is a screen that says Home, Search Your Library and Premium. You're going to want to hit your library, and then you're going to want to hit the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner, and then click Playlist. It'll do the same thing to create a playlist. So for this playlist, I'm going to just name it something simple, and I'm going to call it Spotify DIY gift. You're going to obviously call it something like Valentine's Day, Anniversary 2023, birthday present for Bob, whatever, whoever it's for, whatever you'd like it to be, that is what you will name it, and you will click Save. Now, I'm going to just add a song just to show you, but you actually can do this entire thing without adding any songs until the very end. So I'm going to go ahead and click. I'm going to just do At Last, because if I'm making, let's say, a anniversary one, that would be a perfect song to put on it. Okay, so now I have a song added to my playlist, and again, later I can go back and add more. But I'm going to click the three little dots that's next to the green round arrow when I'm online. If I am on my phone, I'm going to, when I'm looking at my playlist, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to click the three little dots. The only difference is they are next to the little person kind of emblem with the little plus sign, so it looks a little bit different. So again, on either one, you're going to click the three dots, and then you're going to go down to where it says Share, and you're going to click Copy Link to Playlist. On your app, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to click Share, and then you're going to click Copy Link. Once you've copied the link, you're going to go to a website called Spotify Codes. Now, we've already created our playlist and we have our link. Once you have gone to Spotify Codes, you're going to go down here and you're going to erase this, and you're going to paste in this white box the link to your playlist. Then you will click the Get Spotify Code button. And as you can see, it's made our Spotify code. What you need to do is, I think that it works better if you make your background color white and your barcode color black. This makes it easier to work with when you're using a Silhouette or the Cricut. The next step is going to be to download this. So all you have to do is click the black download button, and it has downloaded. Now you can download it as a JPEG or PNG, it does not matter. Either way, it'll work with the next step that we're going to be doing. Now there are two different ways that you can import this into Silhouette. You can either import the JPEG as you have it, or instead you can remove the background and make it a PNG, so that way you don't have to worry about tracing it. And I think that that's easier between the two options. So what I'm going to do is to go to a website where I can remove the background. Now you can do this on any program that you have that removes backgrounds. There are lots out there. I normally would just use Photoshop, but I wanted to show something that is free and easy to use for everybody. You're going to go to a website called remove.bg, and from there you're going to click this blue button that says Upload Image. You're going to find wherever you saved your code, and then you're going to click Open. Once you do that, it automatically removes the background for you. Because of that high contrast of black and white, it makes it really easy. The next step is you're going to click Download, and now it has downloaded the PNG to our computer. Now that you have gotten your file, if you are using a Cricut, these are the steps you will follow next. If you have access to Cricut Access, if you have the paid Cricut, then you can actually just go ahead and open the JPEG file directly into your Cricut design space and remove the background. But I know a lot of people don't pay for it, like I know I don't. So I just want to make sure I show you how to do it freely without having to have paid Cricut Access. The first thing you need to do is you're going to need to remove the background from your image that you downloaded. You can use any software you would like to do this, but I'm going to show you a free, easy way. It's called Remove BG, or which is just remove.bg. You're going to click the blue upload image, and you're going to find the image that you just saved from the Spotify Codes Creator website. Once you do this, it's going to automatically remove the background, and you're going to click download. It has downloaded the PNG, and now we're going to take this and put it into Cricut Design Space. Okay, now that I'm in Cricut Design Space, I'm going to click New Project in the upper right-hand corner. And then over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to click Upload. Then I'm going to click the button that says Upload Image. And then you will click Browse, and you will find the PNG file that you just downloaded. And we're going to click Open. And I'm going to click Complex and click Continue. The background is already removed, so you don't need to do that. So in the bottom right-hand side, you're going to click Apply and Continue. And for this, we're going to cut the image. So you're going to click Cut Image and then click Upload. Now, you have a couple of options of what you can do next. You can use the file to create whatever you would like. You can create a bookmark, a keychain, and it'll work perfectly. Or you have the option to use the cassette tape file that I've provided for free. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to have to upload the SVG file. So you're going to click Upload Image again, Browse, and then you need to find wherever you saved that SVG file when you downloaded it. So it's called the Tape Keychain SVG. You're going to click Open. As you can see, the cut line's already there. So you're just going to click Upload. So now what you're going to do is you're going to select the tape, hold down the Shift key, and also select your Spotify code. And you're going to click in the bottom right-hand corner, Add to Canvas. We're going to move the Spotify code out of the way while we work on resizing the SVG if it needs to be resized. Now, this actually uploaded in the correct size for me today, which doesn't always happen with the SVGs. So this for me is the size for the keychain that I have provided a link to on Amazon that I bought. If you want to use a different size keychain, then you're going to have to resize this for a size that works for you. You're going to just have to measure it and then resize the cassette tape. Now, the Spotify code is obviously not going to fit. So you're going to have to go to the right corner or one of the corners and click on the little rectangle or the little square, and you're going to hold down Shift and you're going to make it smaller. Now, it's really important that you hold down Shift to constrain your proportions, because if you don't, you will ruin the actual Spotify code and it's not going to work. So as you can see, it's still too big. So I'm going to again hit Shift and resize it smaller, move it over, and it's just a little too big still. So I'm going to resize it again. And then I'm just going to move it over just a bit. And now it fits. Now I'm probably going to make it a little bit smaller so it doesn't quite go as close to those lines, just so it's easier to scan. So now I have this ready to cut out, and I'm going to do mine all in the same color. So I'm going to select both of my layers. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say attach. The reason we need to do this is because if we don't, it's not going to cut them together. This is the way to make sure that it all cuts together in one easy cut. Then you're going to go up to the right hand corner and click Make It, and you're going to cut it out in vinyl. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to click Confirm. And then you can see here the file that it's going to cut out. It's just going to be a basic cut. Now, I'm not going to do this because I already actually cut it out with my Silhouette machine and created it earlier. But I just wanted to show you the steps you would take to cut it on a Cricut machine. Okay, now comes the part that I actually think is the hardest. Because these are so small, I'm actually going to keep this on my mat to weed because it will actually help grip. So I'm just going to go ahead and weed really quick. Okay, so that's not working, so we're going to switch gears and we're going to reverse weed. Okay, so to reverse weed, I'm going to take this over my entire design. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out all of my bigger pieces. Again, I want to make sure that I'm not going to pull up any of the Spotify design because then it's not going to work so well. So this is where reverse weeding really comes in handy. As you can see, I pulled every single piece. I've got nothing left in here. And sometimes I'll just fold back just to get a bigger section started because I find that it's easier. Okay, so this is what our final design looks like. And then here is our keychain that it will be going on. Okay, so I'm going to peel off my protective layer, as all the acrylic comes with a protective layer. So I'm trying to miss as much of this hole as I can. Every single keychain will be different depending on yours. You're going to have to trim it. So I'm going to put mine down as far to the right and as far down as I can. And so I will have to trim mine a little bit once I get this on. As you can see, I'm going to try to hold it up. There's going to be a little teeny black that is going to get messed up by this, and I'm going to actually trim that off right now before I try to remove the vinyl. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to make a little snip right here, and I'm going to make one right here, and I'm going to take that off. And the reason I'm doing that ahead of time is because I want to make sure that when I go to remove this, I'm not ripping anything. And so now that fits perfectly, and I'm going to just take this, and now because this design is so small, you're going to want to really make sure that this is on well before you try to peel the transfer tape. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and try to peel back our transfer tape. All right, and it works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to show you what happens now once you have your design. So as you can see, I still have on the back piece of the acrylic the protective layer, so I'm going to peel that off as well. And now I have my cute little keychain, and I'm going to show you how it works. Because I'm using my phone to record, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to actually scan it in Spotify. So we're going to go to search, and you're going to click the camera, and then you're going to use the camera to find the code. Oh, it did already that quickly. Let me go back and show you again because it didn't really show it. So there you go, it scanned it, and there you go. As you can see, it opened up my playlist that we created. So now that I can show you how that works, now we're gonna just attach the rest of our keychain. So we need to connect this with our little guy here, and then we're going to connect this piece, and then you can decide whether or not you want to put on a little tassel. For my husband, I'm not going to put on a tassel, but you definitely can. Okay, sorry, I had to go grab pliers. I thought I had them and I forgot them. So I'm going to just attach my keychain. Again, you can add the tassel if you like up on here, but if not, I'm going to just take this, use pliers to very gently squeeze this together to make it close. And there you have it. I now have a adorable Spotify keychain.